Hey there, my name is Luke Thomas. I'm the founder of Friday, and I want to show you how to get up and running with Friday for your team or for your company. And specifically, what I'm going to do in this video is show you how you could reduce the number of routine meetings, or at least the time you spend in routine meetings, by at least 50%. What I can tell you is that this playbook works over and over and over again with our customers. This playbook we use internally to only have like one or two routine meetings a month. And so what I can tell you is that you will, if you roll out these playbooks that I'm going to show you, you will cut down hours every single week that you spend in routine meetings with your team. And so let's quickly walk through this and how you can get up and running. So I have this sample account here. And let's first start by thinking about what are the average routine meetings in the workplace? From my experience, here's what it typically looks like. At the beginning of the week, you might have some type of weekly staff meeting where people show up, they share what they aim to accomplish for the week. Maybe you discuss some blockers or some news or something else. But the basic idea is you're trying to create alignment. The second thing that a lot of tech-enabled businesses do, especially engineering teams, is they do some type of daily stand-up. So at the beginning of every morning, they quickly share at the beginning of the day, hey, here's what I did yesterday, here's what I'm working on today, and here's where I'm stuck. Right? Very common in Scrum teams, for example. Then usually, employees and a manager will have some type of one-on-one meeting, right? It's 30 minutes where the employee just quickly shares hey, here's what's going on, here's where I could use some help, right? And so for the average team, this can take up several hours every week. And so I'm going to show you how you can do this asynchronously instead or in addition to those meetings, right? Because those meetings, it's part update and then you discuss blockers or you discuss kind of these thorny topics. And we believe at Friday you should just get the updates done before you meet, right? And so let me walk you through this. So once again, there's 3 standard meetings in most teams. So at the beginning of the week, let's do what's called a Monday Kickoff, right? So every Monday at, call it 9 a.m., you can quickly share as a team, hey, here's what happened over the weekend, and here's what I aim to accomplish this week. The reason why we ask this how's your weekend question is because it's just a fun and easy way to get to know your coworkers a little bit more. We're going to turn off kudos because we don't need that because you're walking in at the beginning of the weekday. But you can see we run this every Monday at 9 a.m. And we run this to the entire group. Now, if you create a team on Friday, you can isolate and only ask a particular team. But for this one, we're going to run it across the entire company of 3 people. You also can prompt participants to share an update in Slack. So we'll send a DM. When people share responses, we can push that back into a Slack channel if you want. But for this example, for any participant who responds to these questions, we will make it so that they can view the responses as well, right? This is very similar to that Monday kind of kickoff staff meeting. People going around in a circle, they share what they're working on. So we're just trying to, once again, get the update done before you meet. So let's publish this. I'll show you what this looks like. So we're going to add an entry now, right? So you can see the question, how was your weekend? What do you aim to accomplish this week? So that's the first routine that I recommend running. What's great if you're a team leader is that this helps you understand where kind of each person on your team is pointed for the week ahead, right? What are they thinking about? What are their priorities? And how might I be able to kind of help or course correct if needed? So that's a Monday kickoff. We run that when you first kind of walk in on a Monday morning. Let's create another routine. So let's do a daily stand-up. And so this is very standard. What are you working on today? Do you have any blockers? Let's change this question. Anything else you'd like to share? Right? So it's part work and a part kind of fun. So people answer what they are working on, if they have any blockers, and then they have a chance to kind of share, hey, I'm going to be out for an hour this afternoon. I have an appointment or something along those lines. We're going to enable kudos, and I'll show you what that looks like here in a second. We're going to prompt people every weekday at 9 a.m., but we can actually change that. because we're running one on Monday already, and we're actually going to be running one on Friday as well, let's just do this Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We're going to ask the same people, those 3 people in my company, and we're going to prompt them to share an update in Slack or email. And then once again, any participant of the routine will be able to see other participants' responses, right? So this helps kind of explode transparency with the group without requiring a meeting. So at this point, we're going to publish. I'm going to show you what this looks like, right? We have, what are you working on today? Do you have any blockers? Anything else you'd like to share? And then at the end, I'm just going to give an example. You can send kudos to a coworker for a job well done. Or you can just skip it if you don't want to see it, right? So you can see here we have the Monday kickoff. We do the daily stand-up. All responses roll up into a feed and also will automatically generate a report as well that you can share with external stakeholders. So they don't have to join the meeting either. So at this point, to jump back into the routines, we have the daily stand-up running Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We do the Monday kickoff, Monday at 9 a.m. And at the end of the week, once again, getting back to the typical meetings that we have during the week, oftentimes there's those one-on-one meetings, and the managers will have them with each of their direct reports. So how can we kind of replicate that experience? Once again, it's a more intimate setting. So let's do a weekly, we'll call it a weekly recap. So you can see here we have a different set of prompts. We have an emoji question, for example, how was your week? Where people can quickly respond using an emoji, right? It's a great way to kind of gauge their emotion. So we ask, how was your week? And we could change that to, let's change the accomplishments to what was the, is there anything I can help with? We'll leave kudos enabled as well. And we'll run this every Friday at 9 a.m. And only I, the team leader, can see the responses. So once again, if this was shared with everybody else, it kind of wouldn't really recreate that one-on-one type environment. But when it is only shared between the employee and the manager, it creates a dynamic where you can kind of share a little bit more behind a screen. So it's kind of cool is you end up getting better feedback oftentimes when people have the chance to kind of collect their thoughts and write something down. So the prompts here is, how was your week? That's an emoji. What was the highlight? And is there anything I can help with? Right? So what we're doing is we aren't necessarily completely eliminating the one-on-one meeting, but we can change it from an event that just consistently happens to an event that happens if there's something that you need to discuss, right? Is there a blocker that we need to talk about? If everything's going fine, well, maybe you don't need to have the meeting. So let's publish this and I'll show you what it looks like. Right? So you can see, how was your week? And I can respond with the emoji. What was the highlight of your week? And is there anything I can do to help? Right? So at this point, we have 3 routines. Monday, we kick things off by asking people what they aim to accomplish for the week. At the end of the week, on Friday, we ask people, hey, what was the highlight of your week? Is there anything I can do to help? How are you feeling about your week? And then throughout the week, we do a daily stand-up. If you do these 3 routines with your team using Friday, you will save at least an hour a week, probably upwards of 2 hours a week in meetings. And you will still get a similar level of fidelity and information that you were getting previously in the meeting. Now, once again, you don't necessarily need to eliminate the meeting altogether, but what we find is when you're collecting this information, oftentimes you can cancel a lot of these meetings. So I hope this helps, but once again, if you roll out this playbook, you will save hours a week in meetings, and you will free up a lot more time to do really, really important work, and people will still feel connected. So anyway, I hope this helps, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks.